Alright, I'm back, guys. Keep redoing this video because I keep fucking up really bad. Hopefully I got a job interview coming up, and hopefully I'll get it, because if I do, I'll be making more money there than I've ever made in my life. So I'll be really happy. Finally start to succeed at something, because I have this problem with success. It's just we're not on a first name basis. Anyway, I wanted to do a new series of videos called Case Fucking Closed, because I've been watching this guy named Bill Hicks, and he's awesome. He's so far ahead of his time, and Dennis Leary lifted at least one bit off him, as far as I know. The Jim Fix dying of a heart attack while he was jogging, that was actually Bill Hicks. And also the smoking and the saying, okay, okay, all the time, that's all Bill Hicks. And Bill's been going on about a lot of things that I've been going on about, and I didn't even realize that him and I share a lot of the same fucking views. It's cool. So he'd do this bit where he would give an opinion on something. It's like, here's how we need to fix this problem. And he would give a very direct opinion that would work if everyone would just do it. And he would just go, case fucking closed. Because that's what I want to do. I want to have, here's the bit, like, here's how you fix this problem, case fucking closed. For instance, bicycling, right? Bicycle lanes everywhere. If you're in a place like China where not everyone has a car, and there's a lot of bicycles, hey, that's awesome. In a city like, I'm just going to use Montreal as an example, because I know that's a fairly big city in Canada. It's not really compared to any big city down in the U.S., but drivers there are absolutely insane and are always flooring it all the time. I don't know how you're supposed to survive that if you're not used to it. It's very hard to drive there. If you're somebody like me who's a pretty passive driver, then you're fucked. But say if you were to take bicycles onto the road there, you'd be fucking dead. I know bicycles have the right of way by law. You're supposed to let them go. You're not supposed to run them over. But some words on a piece of paper somewhere do not stop a bicycler from getting killed if somebody's fiddling with the radio and don't notice them. Like, they don't just bounce off. They're magically protected by the law. They'll get killed. They're dead. Pedestrians aren't supposed to run around on the highways, so I don't see why bicycles are allowed on the roads. It's not that I'm anti-bicycle or anything like that. I think everybody should bicycle. It'd be great. But you got to realize the road is not where that should happen. Driving 50, you could squash somebody on a bicycle very easily. But the solution to this problem is amazing. There are bike lanes everywhere, all around the world. They're called side fucking walks. Sidewalks. Why aren't bicycles allowed on sidewalks again? I have no idea. It's not like 100,000 pedestrians got killed by bicycles, and they said, well, we got to do something. We got to move them onto the street or something. I don't understand. Somebody who's on a bicycle is not going to run over a pedestrian, right? Bicycler goes up to the pedestrian, and they figure it out. Like, the pedestrian steps to the side and lets the bike go, or vice versa. It's fucking very easy. Case fucking closed. I don't see why this is an issue. I honestly, apparently around town it is an issue, but maybe some towns it's not an issue at all, because they realize bicycles cannot compete with cars. You cannot do that. You cannot have a bicycle in the middle of a fucking lane pretending to be a fucking car. Anyway, that's just one of them. I mean, I got a ton more. I'm only up to 3 minutes right now, so I figured maybe I'll throw another one in there. Let's do, what about, probably, I got like at least 6 off the top of my head that I can think of that would be good case fucking closed. The whole God thing, right? How everyone makes a big deal about religion. Is there a God? Isn't there a God? If you don't believe in God, you're this, or, if either have to have a religion, and even if you're an atheist, that's a religion. No, atheism is not a religion. Atheism is looking around, seeing no evidence of something everyone else makes up, and just saying what you see in front of you is reality. It's not what's happening in the background, if there is anything. For someone to say there is or isn't a God, we don't know, but we also don't know if the center of the earth is full of green cheese. We honestly don't know. You could say that about anything. At the same time, there are things that happen in the world. There are things you see that you don't understand, things that don't make sense. Even science can't fucking explain a lot of things that go on in the world, right? As good as science is, there's still a limit to what science can do. So it's hard to say, like, supposedly the universe willed itself into existence. There was nothing, and then poof, it just kind of happened. So how does that happen out of nowhere? So you got to kind of start asking questions. But if there isn't a God, if there is a God or if there isn't a God, it makes no fucking difference. As far as salvation is concerned, does that, if there, just for example, we'll do devil's advocate. We'll say, okay, if there is a God, Why would God create people out in the middle of the jungle who have no religion or have, they worship rocks or deities or whatever? Why would God create people that are going to be hellbound automatically because they don't know about Christ? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, but they'll get a pass because they didn't know any better. Well, I don't know any better. See, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would God do that? There's a lot of things that just don't make sense about religion, like all this killing in God's name. And here's what I think, in the Bible, which isn't law, it's a storybook. It's none of this shit happened. Jonah did not get swallowed by a whale and survive for, I don't know how long he survived. And I'm not really like a scholar or anything. I just know some of the stories, a few of the stories. All this weird shit that happened, like Noah did not get an ark and gather 2 of every animal and then save it, because 2 animals is not enough. Every animal would be retarded. Like your kids would be making kids, and that doesn't make sense. That type of thing. Just religion, you don't have to worry about it, because if there is or isn't a God, either way, God is going to forgive you if you don't believe. It's as simple as that. If he's all powerful, almighty, knows everything, he's going to know that as a human, you're cut off. You don't know if he exists or not. You don't know for sure. You're just assuming because this is what you've heard. You cannot go to hell for that. And if there is a God, you just have to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," on your deathbed, and you're saved. And then the other scary part is, if there is no God, then look at all the attention and effort and money and blood that's been shed for absolutely nothing. So you're kind of covered if you're an atheist, because if you're scared, you'll start praying, like, no matter what. That's just what happens. You'll start thinking, "Oh God, help me, that kind of thing," right? And you'll say, "Oh, forgive me for my sins," and then when you die, you're at the pearly gates. You're like, "Ha ha, I beat the system. I didn't waste any time on religion. I didn't spend $1 on religion." Or if there's nothing, then hey, you also didn't waste any money or time or effort. So yeah, that's another case fucking closed. You don't have to worry about religion. Like, you don't have to worry if there's a God. This is something that, we're put here. There's a block on everybody's brain to know, like, as far as knowing if there is a God or if there isn't a God. If you see things, it could be a hallucination. It could be a seizure. I'm not saying it's not God or whatever, but odds are he appears to a lot of people and says a lot of different things. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All you got to do is understand that you can't believe a lot of what you see. Like, there's a lot of things that happen that you're like, I just thought I saw a ghost. That doesn't make any sense. And if it wasn't a ghost, then what the fuck was it, kind of thing? Was it a hallucination? Or if multiple people see something, then what do you do? So yeah, you don't have to worry about religion. You don't have to worry about God. Believe in yourself. Don't run off on some fool's errand. You have to do this for God or whatever. This is a human telling you what he thinks God wants you to do, and is that any different than pretending, or hearing voices or whatever and then acting on them? No. I mean, God comes to you and shows you a lot of cool stuff. You're probably on drugs, but you think he's going to want you to go kill somebody? No. You think he's going to want you to go spread religion? He created everything. Why would he need you to spread religion? Like, am I the only one that just sees how silly this whole thing is? Like, but anyway, don't worry about it. When you die, there's only 2 options. There's something or there's nothing. Either way, if I get to go to hell because I wasn't, a true believer, and I was warned, then fine, I'll take my punishment. I'll say, fine, I didn't believe. I'm not going to go back on it now. You got evidence that I was not a believer, throw me in the lake of fire. But honestly, what kind of dickhead God would do that? Like, you didn't believe, even though you had no evidence. You had absolutely no evidence, just what somebody was telling you, and you also had somebody telling you about multiple religions, multiple everything. How do you choose the right one? Like, how do you know which one's the true? Because everyone's got the true religion. So anyway, case fucking closed. Don't worry about God. God will take care of himself if he exists, which I'm not sure if he does or doesn't. It's hard to say.